Hello everyone, I'm Sharpedo43 once again, bringing you all another Wi-Fi battle. This is going to be an RU battle, and my opponent for it is going to be Xnoc. So yeah, we're going to do RU, and once again I'm going to be using this team that I'm pretty convinced a lot of you are already familiar with. This is a team that's kind of antiquated at this point, considering Delmise I think recently moved to NU because of its low usage. But yeah, we're going to try this team once again just to see how it holds up today. And we're going to see what we have to deal with in the RU tier. So, as you can see, my opponent has a Jolteon, a Feraligatr, a Flygon, Registeel, Shaman, and Meloetta. Looking at his team and looking at mine's, it really looks like his team actually has a huge advantage over mine's. Reason being is just because he has a Jolteon, which hits Milotic really hard. It hits Lycanroc really hard, considering it's faster and whatnot. And it hits Golisopod really hard. And yeah, then there's Feraligatr, which if you get the Dragon Dance up, it hits a lot of my team really hard. It hits the Goodra really hard with Ice Punch, hits Delmise with Crunch, and hits Milotic with Crunch. Like after a Dragon Dance, I think it might even be able to hit KO Milotic. Bottom line is that Milotic is not in good shape when facing Feraligatr with +1. So and then there's Shaman. Shaman hits Lycanroc, Milotic, Golisopod really hard. If it has Air Slash, it hits Delmise as well. And yeah, and then there's Meloetta, which if it's a sub Calm Minding set, yeah, and if there's nothing I can break that, it's gonna be a big issue. So yeah, but we're gonna see if we can actually get around this team, because honestly, I still like to use this team. This is pretty much why I use it. But again, I'm not sure if the team is actually that good, in all honesty. But we're gonna see right now in this battle how will I do with it. So he's gonna lead off with Jolteon right here. I'm going to lead off with Hoopa Confined, because looking at his team, he also doesn't have a whole lot of switches, and I was kind of anticipating the Registeel lead just to get the rocks up and then proceed to do all kinds of shenanigans, trying to set up on me and whatnot. But yeah, he just led with Jolteon, and this allows him to Volt Switch. I went for Substitute on the off chance he just wanted a Hard Switch instead of just going for something else like Volt Switch. But he doesn't, and that did a lot of damage, so I'm kind of wondering if that's actually a Choice Specs Jolteon. But I go for Substitute nonetheless, just in case he does bring the Registeel. He does bring it, so I decide to go for the Nasty Plot right here. And yeah, he's gonna get his rocks up, which is actually kind of annoying, because now I have to send in Delmise eventually to actually get rid of them. So what I'm gonna do right here now is, because I know he has Meloetta still in this team, I'm gonna just go straight for the Focus Blast and hope it hits, because if it doesn't hit, then yeah valió. But yeah, so here he goes into Meloetta. We do hit the first Focus Blast, which is really good. And we're going to get a good amount of damage on this thing. Unfortunately, even at +2, it's not enough to KO this Meloetta. I was hoping it would, because it's at +2, thanks to the Nasty Plot. But unfortunately, it's not. So unfortunately, he is going to be able to break the Substitute with Dazzling Gleam, because Psychic resists. And I don't think it has Hyper Voice. Oh no, Hyper Voice is immune as well, because it's a Ghost type. Hoopa's a Ghost type. But anyways, here, I go for another Focus Blast. Thankfully, this one hits as well, and I'm able to successfully take out the Meloetta, which is really good for me. Because now he's going to send out the Jolteon. And I don't want to lose Hoopa just yet, so I'm going to switch into Goodra. This is another problem that not Goodra, Delmise. This is another problem that I have with this team so far, is that I don't have any Volt Switch immunity, which allows this thing to just freely Volt Switch whenever he wants. Because I'm at a type disadvantage, because I couldn't leave Hoopa. Well, actually I could have, and then I could have gotten some Switch Initiative, actually, now that I think about it. So maybe staying in with Hoopa was actually a better play, but I kind of didn't want to lose it yet, just to deal with the Registeel for some damage, I guess. But anyways, here he goes in the Feraligatr on the switch-in, on the Volt Switch, and I stayed in with Delmise because I was kind of afraid of him going for Dragon Dance. At +1, this thing kind of just destroys the majority of my team. Maybe not this Milotic. In fact, in retrospect, I probably should have hard switched into Milotic on the off chance he did go for just Crunch, but I didn't. I was kind of afraid of the Dragon Dance, in all honesty, so that was kind of like a panicky moment. I just panicked right there, and I just stayed in, because it was like, no, I don't want to deal with no Dragon Dancing for Alligator. So yeah, as a result, here I have to send in Milotic. I think I tried to Toxicate, and then I just try to go for Scald afterwards. He actually ends up doubling on me here and going into Jolteon, which is going to take the Scald, and not that great. And I do get the burn on it, which is pretty nice. Not that it really matters, because this thing is going to be Volt Switching all the time, because once again, I don't have any Volt Switch immunity on this team. Again, that's probably one of the glaring weaknesses of this team, also, as much as I like it, because I do like this team actually, but it just has problems, obviously. And one of them is that I have no Volt Switch immunity, and this thing can just keep going for Volt Switch. So I'm going to lose Hoopa Confined right here because I have to sack it, obviously. Thanks to the rocks, I just figured this thing is not going to be that useful anymore because it's just going to come in, take rocks damage, and not going to be able to take anything. So, yeah. Here he's going to send out Flygon now, and here's where I decided to send in Golisopod. I decided to go for Spikes on the off chance he tries to switch out because he doesn't want to take a first impression. But crazily enough, this man does stay in and goes for the U-turn, which actually kind of sucks because I kind of wanted to go for the first impression to at least get some damage off. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to get hazards up of my own because he got his stealth rocks up and I am not punishing any of his switches, which he gets to switch around freely all the time. So I decided to get the Spikes up right here. He's going to go into Registeel here, and what I'm going to do right here now is actually try to go for another layer of Spikes so that I can actually cripple his switching a lot further. But unfortunately, he does outspeed my Golisopod and actually goes for the Seismic Toss and does put me in emergency exit range, which forces me to switch out. So here I decided to go into Goodra now and just spam Flamethrower so I can at least take out this Registeel. So it's going to do, it looks like a 2-hit KO from right here. But unfortunately, because of the leftovers, it's definitely going to be able to take another one. So here he's going to go for Toxic. And I was like, ugh, that actually kind of sucks. So what I'm going to do right here now is go for one more Flamethrower to see if he stays in. And if he switches into something like Flygon or something, well then, yeah, I think we're screwed basically. So, yeah, we're going to go for another Flamethrower here. We're going to see if he switches out. He thankfully does not switch out, which is actually really, really good for me because we at least crippled this Registeel for anything on my team to revenge KO it later. But here, after going for this Seismic Toss, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually switch it up to Dracometer in case he wants to be fancy and switch out or something. And I can maybe do a lot of damage to whatever he switches out. If he sends in Flygon, that would actually be really, really ideal for me because then I can actually at least get rid of the Flygon, which was one of the mons that threatened my team because of its potential to set up and whatnot. And that's exactly what he does, actually, crazily enough. He's actually going to send out this Flygon right now and actually is going to take the beating of a lifetime in this Dracometer, which was like, damn. I was actually happy I made this read on this guy because honestly, I was thinking, yeah, this guy looks like the kind of guy who's going to be cheeky enough to just send this damn thing out. So, yeah, as a result, I did take out this Flygon and I'm like, okay, that's good. Unfortunately, my Goodra is still poisoned though, so unfortunately he's still going to be able to send out for Alligator and just potentially Ice Punch me straight up because I think this Goodra doesn't have any speed investment and most for Alligators are speed investment, which means they can outspeed me, and it does. But what he decides to do right here is once again get greedy and try to go for Dragon Dances here. What I'm going to do right here is go for Thunderbolt just to get some chip damage off. I didn't want to switch out because I was afraid he'd try to set up on me again, and he did. And right now I'm going to go down to poison anyway, so it's like, what's even the point of switching out in all honesty? I don't want anything to take any damage. Okay, now here is where I potentially made a misplay. What I decided to do right here is go into Golisopod so that I can go for the first impression. Because I didn't want to send out Lycanroc just yet because I wasn't sure if even with Life Orb and the fact that I have Tough Claws, would a Stab Accelerock be able to take out for Alligator from where it was. I didn't do the calcs because honestly I was just too lazy to do it. So as a result, I just made the what I assume is a safer play and just going to Golisopod and just take it out with first impression. Might not have been a safe play now that I think about it, because if I first impression and he just sacked Registeel, that would have been the whole game too. But I don't know. Either way, I just went for first impression and took out the for Alligator at least. But now he just brings in Shaman. I was hoping that he actually have Seed Flare, but he actually didn't. He actually has Giga Drain, which is actually a lot more annoying. And then what I do here is send out my Lodic to I go for Recover because I wanted to see how well I can take a Giga Drain. Or if he has the Seed Flare, how well I can take that. Although probably if he has Seed Flare, I'll probably do over half, which means going for a Recover was kind of pointless here. But what as you can see right here, he actually turns out to have a Z Celebrating Shaman. I did not even know that Shaman can get celebrated in all honesty. I know that the Eevee illusions get it, and I think Greninja even gets it, but I did not know that Shaman of all mons gets Z Celebrated. I was like, what the hell? I was thrown off big time here. So here, he's going to go for Giga Drain. I just go for Haste so that at least I get rid of the +1 stats, because having +1 on all of its stats is actually kind of devastating. So I go for that, and unfortunately I am going to lose my Lodic to another Giga Drain, so all I'm left with now is just Lycanroc, which I think, given that it's Life Orbed, and given that Stonage is a stab move on Lycanroc, I was thinking that maybe, just maybe, with a crit, I think I should be able to still one-shot this Shaman, because it seems to be an offensive set rather than a defensive one. So I'm going to go into Lycanroc right here, and I'm going to go for the Stone Edge. Hopefully it doesn't miss, because if it misses, then yeah, that's just my luck in all honesty. But thankfully I do hit the Stone Edge right here, and unfortunately it's not going to be able to one-hit KO it. I think with a crit I might have, but I didn't get the crit, so unfortunately I couldn't even get that either. So as a result, I'm just going to lose Lycanroc right here, and that's going to be the whole game. We're going to lose like 3-0 3-0 there. But yeah, the battle was still relatively close because if I got the crit right there on the Shaman, the weakened Registeel would have just been finished off with either Excel Rock or a Drill Run from my Lycanroc. And then I think the Jolteon goes down to a Stab Tough Claws boosted Excel Rock from Lycanroc after Spike's damage. I could be wrong on that though, which if so, then I think I would have still lost anyways because yeah, Jolteon outspeeds me and Thunderbolt hurts Lycanroc like crazy, and not to mention I was getting withered down by Life Orb too, so unless I got a crit with Excel Rock, I probably would have lost that anyway. So, but either way, that was a good game to Xnoc, and thank you all for watching this Wi-Fi battle. Hope to catch you guys for another battle, but for now, just take it easy.